MuleSoft Vibes series. My name is Prashant. I'm working as a MuleSoft architect. So in this session, we are going to see how we can get a help of MuleSoft Dev Agent to create the Postman collection for us. So as everyone knows, for all of our APIs, this is currently a manual task, right? Where we manually create the collection for all the endpoints which is available in our API. But if there are multiple endpoints which are accepting multiple types of requests, in that case, this is kind of time consuming, and it's currently it's currently a tight coupled, I would say, because if there are any changes in the API, that will affect the changes in the Postman collection as well. Okay, and this is a kind of time consuming task, which we can we'll get rid of it, right, using with the help of MuleSoft Dev Agent. So currently we have one API with us, right? We're just continuing with one API, and it just have one endpoint, right? Which is doing some operations in between, right? So we are going to test this API now, right? But before that, we need to have the Postman collection with us, because without that we cannot, of course, test it. So currently we don't have any collection as of now for this API, as this is a new one. So I'm just going to ask the dev agent to help me create the Postman collection for us. Okay. So in just a simple plain language, I'll just tell him that please help me create the Postman collection for my API, and I'll just give the API name as well. Okay, and as Dev Agent now has the access to read your project structure, to read your APIs and integration, it will read and go through all of the code which is available for your particular API. And as he knows the MuleSoft standards and best practices, he will then understand that code, and based on that, he will then create the Postman collection for us. So currently he's just reading the first XML file, the main XML file, which has the listener and API kit router. After that, he's reading all the files under SRC. He's just going to the global file. He has completed reading it. Then he's going through the RAML file. It is also there with us under SRC main resources. That is also completed now. And there are few sample test cases as well, JSON in the form of JSON request. That is also we have it under SRC test resources, and that is also something which he is reading to understand what kind of payload, request payload, this API is accepting. Okay, along with that, he's also reading some config property file, to understand this API more better. And looks like he has now everything which he needs to create the Postman collection. And he has started creating the Postman collection. So it will just take few seconds. And once this is done, we will quickly import this in our Postman app, and we'll see if the created collections are as per the standards, and will that be helpful, to any new developer to understand this API working. All right, the Postman collection looks like it's created now. I'll just wait for him to confirm. And all right, it is created. Currently he's just creating the environment JSON file as well. Okay, some dynamics so that we can add some dynamic values. That is also created as of now. Okay, and cool, looks like he has created the collection as well as the environment file, and currently he's creating a readme file. That's fine. I'll just copy this collection and let me go to the Postman app. I'll go to the import, I'll paste this, and looks like Netflix onboarding API collection. Okay, this one, right? Yeah, this one. So this is now imported. Okay, this is ours, right? Whatever we have imported as of now. Okay, and so currently we have only one endpoint. So for that reason, we have one folder / movies, and it has multiple requests. The first one is for success. If we have a success payload where we have all the things which are required, which are as per the standards. These are few of the scripts to check the response, and to validate the response based on few parameters. And once the movie is added, then we are going to get a response like this. So we have a success response example as well created here, right? Along with that, we have another endpoint with the minimal required fields. So currently we have a big payload, not that big, but whatever payload we have it, it's a combination of required and optional fields. So this request only has the required fields, right? Minimal required fields. So these are the required fields. And if there are any validation error like missing title in the payload, we don't have a title. So in that case, we are going to get a response like this, right? And similarly, invalid release year, invalid ratings, multiple validation error, right? So it's a kind of starter pack which dev agent has created for us, which will of course be helpful for us to get started and to test our API and endpoints, right? Along with that, we have few other folders created. This is the error scenarios, like if the endpoint is method not allowed, right? Because we have a post method. So if anyone hit this using the get method, then we are going to get the response like this, like method not allowed, right? Along with that, invalid endpoints, if there are any invalid endpoint, then we are going to get something like this. Okay, and along with that, we have a health check as well, endpoint, one of the endpoint, and for that we have this folder created for that as well. Okay, and looks like the task is now created, and once it creates the task, then he will just give us some informations at the end of the specific task, which will have all the information for whatever the dev agent has executed. And this is also readme file as well he has created to understand how to execute this particular Postman collection and what all things are there in this Postman collection. Okay, so now next session we are going to test this API. So we will just deploy this API in our local, and we are going to test it using the same Postman collection endpoint. Thank you.